Recording. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Melissa Andre, and we are convening a session of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. Today is Thursday, December 5th of 2024, and our category today is license and inspections. With me today is our board chair, Paula Weiss, as well as John O'Connor, Nancy Cameradiner, George Matthews, and Ryan Boyer. We have a full quorum. It is my responsibility to let everybody know to please be aware that this is a public hearing and it's being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you're consenting to being recorded. This recording will be posted on the Tax Review Board's website. Paula, please take it away.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Tax Review Board hearings for December 5th, 2024 are now in session. Before we move into the actual administrative hearings that will go on today, I want to take care of some administrative matters on our docket, specifically for the cases listed as 1, 3, and 6 for 621-23 Gerard Investments LLC. Last four digits of the dockets are 6SSV, Y6SO, LFG, and LFGU. These matters have been continued. So we are going to start today with what is listed as case number 2 on our docket for 1824 Mauer Street. And last four digits to the docket are VWYY. And I believe the petitioner is in our offices. So let's just give him a minute. Oh, wait, they disappeared. That didn't work. All right, we're going to take 5 while we get our technology up and running.
Paula, could you hear me when I was talking?
No, and you can't see that hearing room either.
Oh, that is, well, no, I closed it out because I realized.
No, we could not hear you.
Okay, cool. Just 1 second. I don't know what happened to the sound in there.
You okay? Feeling all right? That's a good way.
All right, technical issues are still pending. Any resolution, Melissa?
Yeah, they're coming in.
Okay.
1 more second. I just need to turn on their microphone.
I hear background noise, I guess, from someone else on the Zoom. Everybody needs to mute themselves.
I don't know. I could hear a lot of voices too.
All right, I think that's stopped. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Andre?
She's not back.
No, I'm wondering if she's in the room with the petitioners.
I don't know.
All right, let's see. Where we are. Mr. Abdulatif, can you hear me? I think that's a no.
Okay.
All right, I think we're going to try another hearing room is what it looks like.
I switched it already. I apologize. I think
Yes.
something's wrong with our sound in that room. Chris, can you turn on the camera in the room B? Can you turn on the camera in the room B? Ay, ay, ay. Chris, can you say something?
Yep,
Hey,
Okay.
Chris.
no problem.
We should be good now.
Okay, we're ready? All right, Tax Review Board is back in session. We are starting with case number 2 on our docket for 1824 Mauer Street. Taxpayers are in the offices. Mr. Abdulatif, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, could you please state your full name for the record?
Haidar Abdulatif,
Abdulatif. And who is with you?
my wife.
Roa Abdulatif.
Okay, do each of you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, well, welcome. Before we hear from you, we are going to turn to the city's representatives to get the time periods and dollar amounts in controversy. You'll then have an opportunity to speak to our board and give us the information as to why you're here and what you're looking for from the board. So I'm going to turn to the city's representatives. Who has this matter for the city?
Good afternoon, Will Fernandez, representing the city of Philadelphia.
Good afternoon, Mr. Fernandez. And who do you have with you to provide the financial information we're looking for to get started?
I have Ms. Lashika Mitchell.
Okay, good afternoon, Ms. Mitchell.
Good
Could you state
afternoon.
your, could you state your full name and position for the record, please?
Sure, Lashika Mitchell, Code Administrator for License and Inspection.
And do you swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in these matters will be the truth?
Yes,
Thank you. So can we get the time periods and dollar amounts and controversy for this, please?
sure. 1824 Mauer Street. This is a reinspection fee, and the bill date is 11/10/2023. Bill number 2020-03-6191. The principal amount is $1,000. There's no admin charge, interest, penalties, and the total once again is $1,000.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Any
welcome.
opening comments, Mr. Fernandez?
Yes, this is a relatively straightforward matter in terms of facts, so I will briefly introduce the evidence that you will hear today. I suppose it's possible that if some of it is non-contested, we won't need Administrator Mitchell's testimony on it, but I'm prepared to, of course, present her testimony as to every piece of information I share. This matter started on July 10th, 2020. On that date, the Department of Licenses and Inspections went out to the property located at 1824 Mauer Street and issued a violation for erecting a fence without the required zoning permit, a non-transparent fence. After that violation was issued, there were a number of re-inspections performed through 2020, including September 15th, 2020, October 20th, 2020, November 6th, 2020, December 11th, 2020, January 13th, 2023, October 12th, 2023, and then ultimately on November 10th, 2023, the Department of Licenses and Inspections went out to the property and discovered that the violative fence had been removed, thus ending the violation and resulting in the case file being closed. For those inspections I just mentioned, there were fees of $1,000 in total incurred. That includes, well, I'll hold off and get to that in the testimony so that I'm not too repetitive. When the
Then
violation,
let me just stop you and just so we have it correct. So this $1,000 is cumulative of several re-inspections?
yes, that is correct,
Okay.
Ms. Chairman. And in fact, I can very briefly say, the first re-inspection, September 15th, 2020, in accordance with the code, there was no fee charged for that inspection. The second inspection, October 20th, 2020, a fee could have been issued for that inspection, but was not issued because the inspector marked the inspection as extension granted rather than failed, because there was, I believe, a pending zoning permit application from the petitioner. So in that case, no fee was charged, even though it was the second re-inspection, which according to the code can result in a re-inspection fee of $100. The subsequent inspection, November 6th, 2020, resulted in a fee of $100. December 11th, 2020, $200. And then the subsequent inspections on January 13th of 2023 and October 12th of 2023 resulted in a charge of $350 apiece. So we have two re-inspections at $350, coming out to $700, and then the $200 and the $100 for the inspections before that, totaling $1,000.
Okay.
So after the violation was closed, L&I sent out the statement of outstanding fees reflecting those inspection fees. That's what's the subject of today's petition. I think Administrator Mitchell will provide credible and competent testimony as to all of those facts. And then the city will, of course, request that the $1,000 in fees be upheld by this board.
Okay, so we're going to turn, thank you. We're going to turn now to the petitioners. Mr. and Mrs. Abdul-Latif, what would you like to tell us about this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, you know, we are receiving a bill from the city of Philadelphia in the amount of $1,000. And actually, we don't know this is for what. We go to the city and ask them why we receive this bill. They shocked, they say, we actually not sending a bill, but this is bill and you have to pay it. But we don't know the subject re-investigation fee. So in the last session, when we talked to the city of Philadelphia representative, they told us because there is a representative from the city of Philadelphia came to our property 5 times and there is no one, see us. And we never notified before. There is someone will come even by mail or phone or even left note that there's someone here come to want to see us. So so we come here and we don't know why I have to pay $1,000 for what? We don't know.
Okay. So I think Mr. Fernandez started to explain all of that this had to do with, according to the city's opening comments, a fence at the property that needed a zoning permit, and that the city, without those the appropriate permits, or to ensure that the property was in compliance, there was an inspector who arrived at the property on at least 5 occasions.
But we don't know.
They came out.
Yes.
They were able to determine when the property was or was not violation. Did you get notices of the violation?
But there is, when the inspector or someone come, we don't know. There is one will come, and we not notified, even by mail or email or phone or text message. We don't know. There is one will come. There's inspector will come. Owner, we listen to the city of Philadelphia. Whenever they say remove the fence, immediately when we receive the mail, immediately my husband remove everything. I take picture for everything and send the email of the, in the letter there is an email. I send the picture that we remove it immediately. And even before that, when we put the fence and we get the violence, we go immediately to the city of Philadelphia. and ask them, we are sorry. And they say, we will start from the beginning. I apply, I pay $100 the fee, and then they ask for the drawing. I go to the office and make a drawing, and I take it again to the city of Philadelphia. They say okay, and I pay the fee and everything. When we receive the mail that it's not acceptable and you have to remove it immediately, we remove it. And therefore we listen to the city of Philadelphia. We never want to do anything not illegal. And we just, our question, when the investigator come to our property, we are not notified. We don't know. There's someone. I have to.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, I think we understand
Yes.
what you're telling us. I think we're going to turn back to the city now for
Yes.
them to provide us with some of the information that you may find helpful, and for us to, that we would find helpful as well. So Mr. Fernandez, I don't know if you have any questions for the petitioner yet, or you just want to put on your case, but we're going to turn it over to you.
I can, I'll start putting on my case.
Mhm.
I will say to the petitioner first, I can certainly empathize with the difficulties of getting specific information at times. It's unfortunate that nobody at the concourse or at LNI when you visited was able to adequately explain the origin of the bill. But turning to the presentation, I think that the evidence will show that the violation was at the exterior of the property, so no interior access was needed, and the fence was not removed in its totality through October 2023, the last failed inspection that resulted in the final fee that was incurred. With that said, I'd like to now call upon Administrator Mitchell. Is my screen properly shared? Is it visible?
Yes, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to scroll down past my introductory statement and begin on City Exhibits page 2, which is page 4 of the PDF. Administrator Mitchell, can you see the document on the screen?
Yes.
Can you please identify this document?
Yes, this is a notice of violation sent to the petitioner.
What's the date of the notice
7/11/2020,
and the address in question?
1824 Mauer Street.
Okay, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. What violation was issued to this property on July 11th, 2020?
It states that a use permit is required for the installation of a fence over 4 feet high.
Okay, I'm going to skip down. I'm going to come back, but I'm going to skip down now to City Exhibits page 7, page 9 of the PDF. Administrator Mitchell, before the hearing today, did you have an opportunity to review the city's eclipse records related to this violation?
Yes.
Were you able to review the photographs that were stored in that record?
Yes.
Are inspection photographs regularly stored in the Eclipse system as a regular method of doing business?
Yes.
Okay. The photograph here, there was no date stamp on it, and so I took a screenshot that includes the case metadata. From this photograph, are you able to ascertain the date that this photograph was taken?
I
can zoom in.
It looked like, okay, I'm sorry, July the 10th, 2020.
Okay, yes. Does that mean
Okay.
that this was the photograph that was taken when the violation was first issued?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to scroll back up now to City Exhibits page 5, which is page 7 of the PDF. Administrator Mitchell, do you recognize this screenshot we're looking at?
Yes.
Can I interrupt a second, Mr. Fernandez?
Yes.
Can you zoom in on that a little
Of
bit?
course, yes. And I
Great,
apologize.
thank
It looks like the quality got degraded a bit, so
That's better though.
a little fuzzy. I didn't notice that before now. My apologies. Administrator Mitchell, what are we looking at here?
You're looking at the property history that is on the public website, Philadelphia Atlas.
Okay, I'm going to scroll down now. And I'll say, just for clarity, because I think this was a tripping point for me initially, you'll want to take note that the case file number on these top 2 entries that I'm highlighting right now is a different case file number than all
Yeah.
of the ones below. So for the purposes of today, you can disregard the top two entries. They're for a different case, a different set of violations that were issued. What dates, what do these dates represent?
These dates represent the time that the inspector went out to the property, and as you see, all of those inspections failed, besides the last one, as you noted. At that time, it passed and the violation was closed.
Okay, just to expedite things a little bit,
Mhm.
I'll ask, do the dates reflected on this document, are they consistent with the dates that I stated during my opening statement today?
Yes,
Okay, and what was the final failed inspection before the violations were closed?
October the 12th, 2023.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll down now to City Exhibits page 8. On this document, there is a date stamp. Can you read what the date stamp reads?
October the 12th, 2023.
Okay, and was this photograph located in the Eclipse records for this case file?
Yes,
Okay, and is there a change from the July 2020 photo we looked at earlier?
yes,
Has the fence been removed in its totality?
yes.
I should say, has every element of the fence been removed from the property?
Everything but the posts. So,
Okay.
yes.
Did this inspection result in a failed inspection or a passed inspection?
Oh,
I can scroll back up to the list
okay,
of,
thank you. I
these are the
told-
records of the inspections.
Failed, yes.
Okay, and was the subsequent inspection a month after this, did that result in a passed inspection?
Yes,
Okay. Based on your review of the city records related to this violation, was the notice of violation at issue here ever appealed?
no,
Okay, and I should be more specific. Was it ever appealed to the Board of L&I Review?
no.
Okay. I think we're almost at the end here. Administrator Mitchell, what's this document? A City Exhibit page 10, page 12 of the PDF.
Statement of outstanding fees, which includes all the reinspection fees.
Okay, and based on your review of the city records, I'm scrolling up now to to actually the second page of the PDF, which is the second page of my position statement. Based on your review of the records, is this table accurate with respect to which inspections correlate to the reinspection or reinvestigation fees aligned with them on the table?
Yes,
That was a clunky way of asking that, but thank you for
Yeah,
telling me, Administrator Mitchell. Okay, does it reflect November 2020, a $100 fee, December 2020, a $200 fee, January 2023, a $350 fee, and October 2023, a $350 fee?
yes.
Okay. I have no further questions for Administrator Mitchell.
Could I hop in a minute, Ben?
Of course.
Can you tell us, Ms. Mitchell, whether or not after each inspection, any notification of once the inspection fees began to accrue, whether there was any billing prior to November of 2023 or any notice of failed inspection and a fee associated with it?
No, there were not. So as he stated, because it's an external inspection, they usually just go out every 30 days to see if the violation was complied. So to answer your
But there was-
question,
Okay, but so for example, November of 2020, there's a $100 reinspection fee. They didn't get any notification of that fee until November of 2023. Is that correct?
oh,
They didn't get a
I-
bill in between.
I can,
What-
obviously it's not testimony, but based on my preparation for this case, the only statement of outstanding fees that was issued was after the violations were closed in November 2023.
Okay, so they would not have known until November of 2023 that I don't know, would they have had any way of knowing that anybody came out at all? Let
They-
alone that there were fees accruing?
They would be able to check the status of the violation on Atlas. That is actually where the document showing the inspection history was obtained. It's open to the public, but without doing that, there was no affirmative mailing or anything like that from the department notifying them of the fees along the way.
Okay. All right, Mr. Fernandez, you have additional testimony to put on or additional information?
No, Ms. Chairwoman, no additional testimony. I would just have a very, very brief closing of like 30 seconds once the
I'm sorry, before,
petition-
Okay, but I have, what?
I'm sorry, just one more clarifying question.
okay.
So the department sends out the initial notice, and then after that, they don't send out any additional notices or notifications until the violation is corrected.
There is a final warning upon the failing of the second inspection. That is to alert the property owner that the case is going to be referred to court if there is one more failed inspection, and also to notify them that reinspection fees are about to start accruing. There is, you know what, I will go to the notice of violation.
Yeah, so I guess I would just like to know what were the notices that the petitioner was mailed to the petitioner, and like when they were mailed to the petitioner in regards to the timeline, if you can.
Yes, so the initial notice of violation issued July 11th, 2020, has a number of warnings in it, including specific statement about reinspection fees that are to be incurred. It states reinspection fees as follows: $100 for the third inspection or the second reinspection, $200 for the fourth inspection or third reinspection, and $350 for any additional inspections. And it cites the section of the Philadelphia code that authorizes such charges. I didn't include a copy of the final warning in the city's exhibit packet, but if the board wishes, I can obtain it in about 30 seconds and share it. I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah,
If that would be helpful, of course.
I
I'm
think
just
that
gonna
would
stop.
be helpful.
Okay.
I had some additional follow-up. Ms. Andre, did you have anything to follow up on that?
I'd like to see the date of the final warning.
Okay, so we're gonna look for that. And then my other question, at some point, there was I'm not sure who, there was a mention of a permit application. Did petitioners, is there a record in LNI that the petitioners came in to try to correct the violation with a permit application? And when would that have been?
Apologies, indulgence for just a moment.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, so there was a zoning permit application submitted August 6, 2020, so timely, shortly after the initial notice of violation. There was a request for revisions from the plan reviewer on August 19th of 2020. Revisions were submitted on October 13th, 2020. The zoning permit application was then denied, which is a frequent step that then necessitates appeal to the zoning board of adjustment, excuse me. And then it looks like no appeal was ever taken from the permit denial on October 13th, 2020.
Okay.
And if I may, just for the record, Administrator Mitchell, those statements you just heard me make, are they consistent with the Eclipse records that were up on the screen just a moment ago?
Yes.
Thank you. I have here the final violation notice mailed October 21st, 2020.
Can you zoom in on that?
Yes, of course. This states that the violation remains open, that a reinspection occurred on October 20th, 2020, and that the violations were not corrected. Down here, it has warnings about inspection fees and fines, though I don't think it repeats the specific fee amounts as is contained on the initial notice of violation, but it does state that inspection fees will begin to accrue and will be billed to the responsible party or the property owner.
Okay. Ms. Andre, did you have any other questions about this?
No, I'm good now. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to turn back then to the petitioners and stop sharing your screen.
Oh,
Thank you.
yes, of course. Thank you.
And all right, so Mr. Abdul Latif, could you explain to us, based on what the city is referencing, that after the zoning application for a permit was denied in October of 2020, when did you actually take the fence down?
when we received the note, now he shared in the, I think in October. In October, we received a mail that if you not remove the fence, we will charge you each day $300. So at that day, immediately, we remove it and take picture and send it to the mail in the, to the email in the letter. And I say we remove everything, and this is the pictures. So immediately, at the same minute, we read it. My husband in the house, he removed it immediately.
Okay, so that would have been October of 2020 or on or about?
Yes, I think at the end of October.
Are you sure it wasn't 2023 when you removed it, when you received the final notice?
Sorry?
Are you sure it wasn't 2023 that the fence was taken down and not in 2020?
No.
Because they kept coming out and viewing the fence and imposing violations. Doesn't make much sense.
Board member, if I may, just for clarity's sake, the final notice was issued in 2020, October 2020. And further, even though it's not contained in my evidence packet, just for the accurate understanding of the board, I will stipulate that I pulled a photograph just now from November 2020, and the fence was in the same condition it was in October 2023. That is, the posting all remained on the property, but the actual fence in between the posts had been removed. I will share my screen to show this photograph. Again, there's no date stamp on this one, but
Yeah.
I just pulled it from Eclipse, and I think
Yes.
I can.
Yes, the pose, we not remove the pose because we plan to put, you know, 4 foot, it's, I don't know what's called, but
A gate, a fence?
A smaller fence or a transparent fence, whatever. So Mr. Fernandez, after,
yeah, so,
okay, after November of, so this photo was November of 2020.
Yes,
as
you
far
can.
as I know.
The,
And after November of 2020, could you give us again the what were the reinspection dates up between October or November of 2020 and October of 23? Ah, thank you.
so
So
here's the,
really-
I think the table speaks for itself, but I'm.
All right. Perfect. So November, December, and then January. And so all of these last ones had to do with those posts then, I assume.
Yes, that's
Those
correct.
posts were a violation?
That the inspector determined that the notice of violation and order had not been complied with. The notice violation and order said to remove the, well, I'll pull the exact language rather than paraphrasing at risk of getting the details wrong.
Thank you.
excuse me, Your Honor, excuse me.
Just a minute.
It just says, required for every new use, commence any land or any structure, return the subject premise to its approved usage or secure the proper permits for its present use. So it doesn't actually contain a more specific directive. I will
Go
just.
back down to it. Go back.
Okay.
to it.
Oh,
I
I'm
just-
sorry. Yes, of course.
Go ahead. So the violation is installation of a fence more than 4 feet past the front setback, more than 4 feet in height, and more than 50% opaque. So how would they have understood that just even leaving the posts would be a violation?
Well,
Since no
Mr.
notices went out.
No subsequent notices went out, but the information is public on Atlas and easily ascertainable there. I would also just point out for the board, I just noticed this, and so I'd like to point out that the fencing remained on site on the November 20th inspection. Obviously, you know, it's obvious from the photo that it had been removed from the post, but it was still being stored on the premises.
Okay. I think, you know what, I think that, you know, Mr. Fernandez, did you have any other closing that would add anything?
I would just very briefly say that inspector time in the field is one of the major resource limitations for the Department of Licenses and Inspections. Here, with no appeal of the initial notice of violation. The petitioners and property owners failed to exhaust their administrative remedies to contest the violation. The inspector did in fact go out to the site on numerous occasions and take up time out of his schedule, out of his or her schedule that could have been used on other matters. And the Philadelphia Code clearly authorizes the imposition of re-inspection fees when inspections are performed that result in the failed status. Nothing further. Thank you, Ms. Chairwoman, and the rest of the board.
Okay. So I think that we're gonna step back for the board to have a conversation. So
Okay,
everybody
Thank you.
stay where you are.
everybody just stay where you are. The board is just gonna leave the room, but you stay right there, okay? Where did the petitioners go? What the heck? Oh, no, they're right there. Okay, cool. Everyone just stay there where you are.
Hi, this is the court reporter. And I'm asking the petitioner, Ms. Abulatef, can you tell me how to spell your first name, please?
Last name or first name?
Her first name. I have your full name. I need her first name.
Okay, my first name, Rua, R-U-A-A. Yeah.
No, that's correct. Your first name.
Yeah, Rua,
Okay, R-U-A-A.
A-A.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Mr. Fernandez, can you stop sharing your screen? It's okay, you didn't know.
All right, I think we're back in session. Everyone is back, Melissa? I can't see yet.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
all right.
now everybody's-
So the tax review board is back in session. We took the opportunity to review the evidence, the photos, testimony by the petitioners, and based on the petitioners' actions, photos provided by the city, the various notices or lack thereof throughout the 3-year period, it's the decision of the board to reduce the principal to $300. Mr. and Mrs. Abdul-Latif, you will get a letter from the tax review board in about 2 weeks with that decision. An adjusted bill from revenue will follow with that reduction, at which point you can arrange with revenue to pay the balance. Please be aware that either party may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of that decision letter. Can I get concurrence from the board?
Yes, John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy
Ryan-
Campbell Greener, I concur.
Ryan Boy, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So as I said, you'll get a letter with that decision within 2 weeks, and that concludes this hearing. Thank you for coming in.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Thank you.
Very appreciate. Thank you.
You're welcome. And we are going to move on to items listed as 4 and 5 on our dockets. I believe we do have petitioners in our office. It's Spruce Builders LLC. Last 4 digits of the docket are 9659 and 9662.
Have a seat.
Okay, so we're moving on to Spruce Builders LLC. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name for the record?
Good afternoon. My name is Billy Texera.
Could you spell your last name?
T as in Tom, E-I-X-E-I-R-A.
Okay, Mr. Texera. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Board. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
I do.
Thank you. We're going to turn to the city representatives to start so that they can provide us with the dates and dollars in controversy, and then we will return to you for you to explain to us why you are here today and what you're looking for from the board. Mr. Fernandez, is this your matter?
It is.
Okay, can we get the dollars and dates on the record, I assume from Ms. Mitchell?
Yes, I'll turn it over to Administrator Mitchell.
Okay, 1320 South Portleys Street. This is a site violation notice, a building site violation notice, bill date 2/28/2023, bill number 23007658. Principal amount is $2,000. There's no admin charge, interest, or penalties. Once again, the dollar amount is $2,000. Where the second entry is 1322 South Portleys Street. If I'm pronouncing that right. This is also a site violation. Bill date 2/28/2023. Bill number 23007683. Principal amount is $2,000. Once again, there's no admin fee, interest, or penalty. And it's once again the total bill is $2,000. I would like to add, per the Eclipse system, all fees have been paid on both of these bills on 10/12/2023.
Miss Mitchell, can you give us the date of when each fee was assessed? The 58 bill and then the 80.
Okay, let me go back.
It-
Sorry, I mean, I have braces on with rubber bands. I'm so sorry, guys.
Okay, no problem. No problem. We can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're fine, you're clear. I just wanted to get that extra piece.
Okay, the bill date is 2/28/2023 for both bills.
Oh, for both bills. Thank you. very much.
Yes,
Okay, and paid in full on October 12th, 2023.
yes.
All right, that gives us an issue to talk about, but we'll start, Mr. Fernandez, opening comments.
Yes, as the chairwoman just I think hinted at, first and foremost is a threshold issue. These petitions are moot. All fines that would potentially be at issue before the board today are paid in full as of 14 months ago. So we can either I can pause here and we can address that threshold issue, or if you'd like, I could briefly introduce the background leading up to the bills in question here.
Let me go back to petitioner and see where we are in terms of the payments. So, Mr. Teixeira, the problem or the issue that we're starting with is that you have already paid these bills. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, which puts this into a different posture for us as a refund. Can you explain briefly what occurred that resulted in your actually paying the bills prior to appealing?
So we wanted to make sure they get paid first and foremost. But we would like them to be withdrawn if possible, the violations to be withdrawn.
Well, we can't actually rule on whether the violations were proper. This board is tasked with reviewing the bills themselves for reasonableness and proper issuance. And once they have been paid, it puts it into a very different posture for us that the code that we work under, the law as enacted by City Council, actually requires that if you've paid the bill and you're looking for a refund, that you need to actually apply to the Department of Revenue for that refund first. So are you seeking a refund or are you seeking a review of the actual violations?
Actually, both.
All right, well, we don't have the authority to review the violations. That would be the Board of L&I Review, or is it still called that, Mr. Fernandez?
It is, yes.
Okay, Board of L&I Review. However, you are timely enough to be able to file a refund petition with the Department of Revenue and then have an opportunity to have a rescheduled hearing in this office should the Revenue Department not approve your refund request.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to point out just the timeline of this case because I think it's very interesting. And I think it maybe explains why he paid it. So from what I gathered, he filed this petition in March 30th of 2023. He had his hearing with the first level hearing back on October 2nd of 2023. And then he paid the bill October 12th of 2023. I know that the department level hearing is not considered in our decision here at the board, but it was denied. And then he filed his appeal to this for this matter. He filed it on the same day he paid. So it's a very strange kind of timeline.
Well, so what you're saying is at the time that the petition was filed,
it was
not paid.
Correct. He paid the bill after he had his hearing at the first level, and the same day he came and filed his appeal to the board.
So
I don't know if that makes a difference. I just think it's very strange.
well, I mean, I think we've probably seen people, you know, the bills get paid sometimes before the hearing. Mr. Fernandez, would you continue to object to the board going forward under those circumstances since the petition was filed prior to payment?
I would object. Of course, I would understand if my objection was overruled, but for the record, I feel like I must object. The endpoint fact here is that there is nothing in controversy before this board. And so I think that the suggestion earlier that a refund process be initiated through the regular channels and the regular course of business, I think that would be a good suggestion. But with the bills paid, there are no outstanding bills that this board can adjust, remove, etc.
Does the board want to have a brief conversation?
Yes.
Please.
Everybody just hold tight, stay right where you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I think we have everybody back. Yes, all right, so that with tax review board is back in session, board discussed circumstances surrounding this petition. And sir, we want to make sure that you absolutely have the full benefit of the entire process that's available. But at this point, we are going to continue this matter today so that the paperwork and the process can kind of catch up to the circumstances that we're in. So Ms. Andre is going to provide you with the information so that you can actually request a refund from the Revenue Department.
Okay.
Because essentially you've already paid these bills. There's nothing in controversy that's open and due. So you can request that refund. Should Revenue deny that refund or for some reason not provide you with your full request, you will have an opportunity to return in front of this board for a full review and hearing. But we want to make sure the process plays itself out properly and appropriately. Ms. Andre will give you her card and explain to you further before you leave today, what process you need to follow. Can I get concurrence from the board for a continuance?
Yes, John O'Connor, I concur.
Ryan Boyd, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. So this matter is going to be continued, and you will have an opportunity to come back for a full hearing should that refund request not be complied with to your full satisfaction. And as I said, Ms. Andre will walk you through that whole process. So thank you for coming in. I'm sorry you had to wait just for a continuance, but hopefully this will all work out for you as it
Thank
goes
you so much.
forward.
Thank you very much.
You get a letter from the tax review board with that decision in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I believe that completes our docket for today. Mr. Fernandez, is there anything else that you want to put in front of the board?
No, nothing else. Thank you, Chairwoman, and thank you to all of the members of the board for your time and consideration today.
Thank you. All right, everybody, have a good afternoon. We will
Bye,
see
everyone.
you Tuesday.
Thank you very
All right.
much.
Care, everyone. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
And thank you as well, Ms. Andre. I forgot to include you.
No
Have a
problem.
great day.
Tax review board we are adjourned for today.
Yes, we are.